27th of January, New York Stock Exchange are suffering one of the biggest dip in the history. $600 billion is evaporating within a day. The company that suffered the most is NVIDIA, the new AI powerhouses. They lost 17.5% of their market cap within a day. When people try to find what is the cause of this horrible stock market crash, it is actually an app that appeared in the App Store called Deepseek, a new Chinese AI company. Shortly after that, in the newest AI summit, J.D. Vance, as a vice president, a representative of Trump government, gave a public speech. He highlighted that we will guarantee America AI will become the best among the world and will become the top choice of anybody. However, that's not what AI company is doing. Currently, Amazon, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and a lot other internet company in America is providing DeepSeek within their own platform. Despite all of them are major investors in OpenAI, the Coca-Cola of AI. So in this video, we're going to discover three main questions. First is, why does DeepSeek seem such a shock to people? So what great about them in a human everyday languages? Second, why does it matter for people like you and me, average Joe, who don't really work in the tech industry? And three, who will leading and winning the AI war and why? If you look through the news, they call the emerge of DeepSeek called DeepSeek shock. Last time, the event can be called shock in the news industry is actually Lehman Brothers crashes that directly caused in 2008 financial crisis. And I'm sure lots of people who are watching this may even get influenced. If we have to understand what's so shock about it, we have to know what is the status quo before DeepSeek. The number one company within AI field is actually US fund company named OpenAI. The current CEO is Sam Altman. Their superstar product is GPT. And most people are using it for free, but what make them number one AI company within the field nowadays is actually their deep research model called GPT-01. The subscription fee is about $200 per month. And if you're using a company B2B API, it could be even more expensive. And no one else on the market have this kind of deep research models. And even for their base model, they perform on the scoreboard number one compared to other companies. How did they accumulate this advanced place? Mainly through two paths. The base idea of ChatGPT is actually built on one of the research papers published by Google named Transformer. But because how many talented people OpenAI has, they improve and make it into a brand new product that, as we know, LLM, large language model. Second reason they can be ahead of all other AI company is because they have way more computation power and money to support this more data, to become way smarter than anybody else. So what is computation power? In a simple term, you can imagine that AI company are trying to build a brain. They need to make this brain more and more smart. They need more and more brain cells. Computation power, or GPU, is the brain cell they have to put in. And because the most advanced this brain cell GPU is very limited quantity every year can be produced. So if they have more money, stock them up, they have the absolutely advantage even on hardware, not even mention software innovations. Despite recent couple 2 years, OpenAI have literally a brain leak, lots of talent actually leaving OpenAI. But they are not going to China. They still remain in the US and make US the absolutely dominant forces of AI creations. China was never even in the discussion, mainly for one reason, is in 2022, there is a ban was forced upon China to export the GPU, the brain cell we mentioned before. So without having more brain cell, more calculation power, how could China to build anything remotely to compete? And without even mention, within a year, they even banned 4 different GPU that is lower tier than the prior one. Like they use the best one that is banned, second best one is banned, third best one is banned, fourth best one is banned. Nothing is exporting to China. And fast forward the time to January 20th ish. That is about Chinese New Year in China. And in America, Trump just won the election. He just stepped into the office and all the attention is on the president's. This app is secretly go online and soon shock the world. Why is so shocked? First, on the scoreboard, they perform as well as the killer model that OpenAI has for deep research. They charge $200 a month. And no one else have this deep research function, but Deepseek provided. And they score more or less the same like ChatGPT 01. Second, this new deep research model, it only take the team 2 months to build, and the cost is only $500 million around as a cost. Within AI field, $500 million is literally a fractions of cost. And the most shocking part is this newest model, straight out of China, could destroy the whole industry, is open source, which means if you want to run in your home computer, you literally can go buy 8 Mac Mini and stack them together and run in your house. The newest deep research, $200 per month renting models that OpenAI provide. And even you don't want to go through the hustles to build it up yourself. You use their API or monthly subscription is way, way, way cheaper compared to OpenAI. Within a week, the most common seen term from the news agency is actually called Sputnik moment or Sputnik crisis. This is a term was come out in 1958. Basically, what happened is back then there is a Cold War between USSR and America. America always thinking that in the outer space explorations, they're ahead. Their technology is way more advanced than their component. However, in 1958, the first ever satellite was shot to the space and succeeded by USSR. And that shook America because they represent their technology is fall behind. And because that technology advanced shock, NASA was created. And from there, the arm race started. People seeing the new upcoming Chinese company as the same technology advance. The main reason for it is because the limitations they have. They don't even have enough brain cell to train this brain. How would they build something as compatible, cheaper, faster as the Coca-Cola of AI? And let's go in to see a little deeper technical stuff. And don't worry, I will use daily metaphor for you to understand why they are good and why they are cheap. So how did they use a cheaper cost and a less brain cell to build this super smart brain? The secret on their base model is called MOE, Mixture of Expert. Imagine in a kitchen. In OpenAI's kitchen, there's only one chef, and they feed him a lot of recipes and they practice him day in, day out. So whenever someone requests a dish, he knows how to do because he learned it before. However, that's not what Deepseek's kitchen looked like. Deepseek kitchen looked like they have 50 different chefs. Every chef is specialized on one thing. He specialized on sweets. He specialized on meat. He specialized on cutting. And this is how they reduce the calculation power it requests. And therefore, when there's a request coming in, it's cheaper. Because every time there's a request asking to solve a code problem or mathematical problem, they only use about 1/50th or 1/20th of all models. So it's not everybody needs to be activated. to making sure this process working as good as like OpenAI's back kitchens, they use MOE, mixture of expert. This was brought up by Jeffrey Hinton, one of the godfather of AI. But majority time, this algorithm was using for Google to find ads to the customers. How can we match this ads to the accurate customers? And they are using what we call the no one seems to use it method to solve the problem. Even on their deep research models, they're using the GRPO algorithm, which is within the field be considered as a less progressive way of training the model, but they have a major success forward. And I will plan to see here and to mention the importance, because this is the key who will win the AI war. So what is the reaction of America, governments, big companies? So let's talk about first Sam Altman. Sam Altman immediately published the newest deep research ChatGPT o3 mini to show how powerful they are. They basically showing the public, don't worry, we have our strength too. Second, he also reduced majorly on this deep research model's costs so they can at least compete with Deepseek. And three, he publicly mentioned that he willing to looking for collaboration with China. However, he is facing some obstacles. And these obstacles could be American government, could be regulation. He didn't go into detail to talk about it. And let's take a look of American companies. What is American companies' reaction? The biggest investor for OpenAI, Microsoft. In the beginning, the Microsoft engineer are accusing Deepseek they are cheating by one of the AI method called Distill. Basically, you send a lot of API requests and ask random question to ChatGPT, and using the answer ChatGPT give you to create your own models. But soon enough, this was no longer talked about within even Microsoft, because they're open source. They can clearly see what is the code and what is the calculations. And within the same day that they accuse Deepseek they're cheating, they're doing this, they actually plug the Deepseek models into their own platform. After Microsoft, Amazon, NVIDIA, and all other companies are following up to plug this new Chinese AI model within their own platform. Second one is quite funny, is Meta. Meta have immediately 4 war room to discuss how can we cope with this new AI model. Why? Because for Meta, their AI model named Lambda, their strategy is open source, but their model don't perform as well as Deepseek. And just imagine this, if you are Mark Zuckerberg, the person who in charge in your company's AI project, 1 year earn as much as how much they spend to create Deepseek. How would you feel about it? Next, Apple. Apple last year have a collaboration with OpenAI. They want to make the Apple AI. But now they are going directly a conversation with Deepseek. However, they abandoned Deepseek and collaborate with another Chinese AI called Q1. How is the details and what's the issues and why they abandoned OpenAI and going to China and even abandoned Deepseek? We have yet know, but in future, 100% will cover this piece of information. And what's a Q1? Maybe another video too. Let's move to second part. Why should people like you and me care? Is a new model perform just as good as OpenAI? Will it influence our daily life? The answer is yes. I want to start asking you this question. Did you realize some Chinese people that you know or your stereotype of, they are very, very rich? Rich to a level that you wonder, is America number 1 GDP or China is? The answer to this phenomenon is actually portrayed in Wealth of Nation, one of the father of economists, Adam Smith. He observed the same phenomenon and gave his own answer. He observed that in the beginning, when America just separated from UK, America GDP is not as good as UK, but American earning are way bigger than United Kingdom people, average earning. And he found that the dissecting factor of how much people earn into their pockets is not actually how big the GDP are within the country. It's actually how fast the GDP grow. Because if I can just hire more people and earn me more money, I will actually compete with other employees to pay way more to hire people. And therefore, people earn more money. And that's why, back to the 80s, being American middle class is such signature of American dream, because the fast GDP growth make middle class have way more money than even a lot of rich people in other countries. Then, what makes the GDP grow faster is the pillar economy. What is a pillar economy in China? Manufacture and some of the internet company. What is a pillar economy of America? Internet company. But all the pillar economy or technology have the day of the ending. For example, Detroit, manufacture of America, is ended. If without the new internet company and the tech company of America, Silicon Valley emerge, America company will be in deep problem. One of the famous country that suffer from this, they have a hard time to switch from one pillar economy to another, is actually Japan. Back to 70s, 80s, 90s, Japan was one of the best manufactured countries, and they are very wealthy. How wealthy? Back then, Universal in America or Rockefeller Center in Fifth Avenue, New York, was owned by Japanese. Even our dear President Trump back then, he had to take his big yacht named Trump Princess, drove to Japan asking for collaborations, but no one seems even care about him. And he witnessed how much Japanese made product dumped to America. And back then, he even had an interview, said, this is unfair. And I will guess this is where he got the tariff idea from. And if you guys are interested in this part of the story, I will make another video why Trump is so interested in tariff and his backstory related to tariff. So what America and China right now is competing is who will have this next Silicon Valley. If you don't have Silicon Valley, you will just become like Japan nowadays. Economists call it the last 30 years. Basically, the next 30 years, no one have money, no economy is increasing. People are suffering, everyone. So let's go into our last part. Who will win this AI race and competitions? And of course, this is not my original idea. I will have to borrow one of the idea from book called Why Greatness Can Be Planned. The two author was two of original member that create ChatGPT, the early stage, the high talent volume OpenAI. They mentioned that the fact that they can even create something great within AI field, it is something that is so irrelated. What do I mean by that? Something that make them create such a great product, ChatGPT, is because they're utilizing something as a stepping stone that seems so irrelevant to ChatGPT. Just like Wayne Brothers, they create planes, but the stepping stone to create planes is actually bicycle. They tie a bicycle on a big wing and they push off the mountains. No one would know bicycle will lead to plane inventions, or what creates computer is a vacuum electronic tube that created by other people that it seems so irrelevant to computer. And the fact that they can create ChatGPT is because they're using something no one seems utilize. Like what I said in Deepseek, they're using what Google finding advertiser to the viewers. They apply that mechanism into their AI model that create innovations. And because there's limitations that causing China have a major innovation spikes. It's like this. It's like back to high school. You have that good student, class top 10. They can just study and feel good about themselves and teacher love them. they are promised a great career in future. That's basically what OpenAI and a lot of American company does, is stack more GPU, you get ahead. But other company who have a limitation like Deepseek, they're like the terrible student that no one cares. They do horrible on academic. They have to find a different path to make themselves feel great about themselves, to survive, basically. That's when they have to take a big leap of faith to create, let's say, a company, to become an owner of something, to become a hacker. And that's how that innovation come along. But if we apply the same logic, who can lead the AI? What country will lose the war of AI? The answer is straightforward. To see the innovation, adopt the innovations, and improve upon it. Because you will see more and more regulations among AIs. NASA is banned, Australia government is banned, Italy App Store is banned Deepseek. Some of the American government is banning the Deepseek. The second biggest AI company in America, Anthropic, are calling to ban more GPU to China. And they don't want any collaborations whatsoever with China because they are losing their market share. And this kind of locking down mechanism will 100% losing the innovations. Because on the bigger structure I mentioned briefly before, is everything we see is created by transformer model. Imagine if Google in the beginning never published this research paper, US wouldn't be in the leading position. They wouldn't want to share the newest funding. But let me tell you, before transformer model, there is model before model before model. They all hating a wall after feeding so much data to the brain. Who can invent the next model is more important than who have a higher score nowadays. Right now is only the beginning of the AI war. The true fighting intense moment is upcoming. This is all for today's video. I really hope you learned something today. My name is Paul. I will see you next time. Bye.